Start of play, opening curtain. Narrator. Welcome to NurseSense. I am the narrator, representing the experienced, well-seasoned nursing instructor, in which I will guide you through the play with insights and personal opinions. Remember, this play is a parody on nursing education. It is for pure entertainment. All characters are an exaggeration of what it is like to become a nurse from the past and present and future. In other words, consider this play every student's nightmare coming true. We all had one instructor from hell, so fall asleep, awaken, and let's begin the nightmare of NurseSense.
Somewhere out there, nursing school is where our dream lies, to be an RN someday, like the ones before us who practice daily the art of caring, not fearing sickness, pain, or death. Avoiding nurse burnout by taking care of oneself daily.
Welcome to NurseSense.
Welcome, students, to somewhere out there. Each of you is starting a new journey, a transforming journey to become an RN. It won't be an easy one. I know many of you have just finished a difficult journey just to be here. For example, being on our waiting list for at least a year, retaking classes to bring up your GPA to be accepted into our very competitive program. 1 out of 4 applicants is only accepted into our program, and only a few of you are men. Unfortunately, you are not considered a minority in the nursing profession, even though only 10% is the number of men who are nurses. How can we make that number higher? Young man, any suggestions?
Tony, only male nursing student in the class. He pauses, looks around to see who she is pointing at, but realizes not only is he the only male student, but the other male in the room, the male instructor, is on the other side of the room, Mr. Hicks. Both of them are very aware they're the only males in the room. Male instructor stares at Tony and encourages him to speak. Tony, I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, I can only speak for myself. My father died from lung cancer and my mother abandoned us when I was very young. So I guess I have learned to be the caregiver in the family. I remember the nurses being so nice to my dad and to me, even when he was really sick and there was no hope. They comforted me and my father. He died peacefully. I knew then that I wanted to be a nurse, so much like the nurses that helped me and my dad. They were so much like the mother I never had.
I am so sorry to hear your genuine story, Tony. Thank you for sharing. It was nice to hear already a group of nurses have made a difference in your life. Your transforming process has begun. After all, nursing is an ancient art of caring. Men have been nurses for centuries, but not truly recognized for it. So, welcome to the nursing profession. Anyone else know why so few men are in nursing?
Mr. Dan Hicks, male instructor. It is an interesting question, Dean Butterfield, one I have researched well. Most men don't enter the nursing profession until their 3rd or 4th career. Secondly, men are not encouraged to enter the nursing profession since it's considered a woman's profession. The stigma of being considered gay or bisexual turns many macho men away from the field. However, if you would think with a brain drain, the smartest women now going into engineering, medical school, and law school, that there would be more men in the field of nursing. Unfortunately, that is not true, for I personally feel there is a prejudice against men to enter the nursing field. It is a very subtle one, but the fact that we are not even considered a minority in the nursing profession is troubling. In addition...
Oh, please, we have heard this all before.
Yes, but have you done anything about it? Last I remember, you had failed every male student that you ever had in your clinical. Explain that, Mrs. Henderson.
Because they weren't good enough. Simple as that. Actually, I tried to fail everyone in my clinical until they prove me otherwise. It is our job to intimidate students, make them scared, thinking they will not pass until the very end.
Well...
Okay, now you two behave. Mrs. Henderson, where is your twin sister? It's quite odd, but the two of you are never seen together at the same time. It's as if one cannot exist without the other. I don't know. Am I my sister's keeper? Well, she's not feeling well. I can talk to you about it later, Dean Butterfield. Thanks. I would greatly appreciate that. Now, do the students have any questions? Dean Butterfield, why is it that the other medical professions are 50% men and women? Like respiratory therapists, physical therapists. I'm not sure about occupational therapists, but I know doctors are now 51% female going to med school and 49% male. Why not nursing? Good question, my dear, which sounds like a good research question for you to work on while you're here. Maybe Tony and Dan, Mr. Hicks, can work on it with you this semester. Oh, okay, Dean Butterfield. That was a dump. Excuse me, Miss Smart, is it? What did you just say? Nothing, ma'am. I just had a cough. Any other questions? Okay, you may all be dismissed. Good luck with your first semester.
Mrs. Henderson and Mr. Hicks move stage left and start fighting immediately. The beginning of scene 2. They hate each other. Narrator follows and observes. Mr. Hicks, why is it that you and your sister are never seen together? This has been going on for a year, and I'm wondering what the hell is going on.
I will discuss it with Dean first. Then I will update everyone on her condition. She is not doing well at this time, and I'm having a hard time dealing with it as well.
Oh, I see. Well, next time, don't cut me off while I am speaking. It was rude.
Oh, you are such a perfect example of why men don't belong in nursing. You are whiny and always trying to state your opinion when it is not even asked for. As far as I'm concerned, you are incompetent.
Incompetent? Why, you are the one who is incompetent, not me. From now on, I consider you an enemy, Mrs. Henderson, and I will do everything in my power to make sure you are fired by the end of the semester. So watch your back.
Is that a threat, Mr. Hicks?
It is. It is if you fail Tony, the only male student in your first clinical. He and I had a little talk already, and he knows all about you. The dean is just waiting for your next move with another male student, so all eyes are watching. Narrator, you can already see the conflict. All the characters are made up, of course, and each character is an exaggerated composite of many characteristics of people I have encountered in my lifetime. However, the version of my younger self, Mr. Hicks, is an exaggerated characteristic of who I was at the time and where I wanted to go. You know, it's easier to observe yourself being angry than actually being angry. It's not as emotional. Actually, I wanted to be the best nursing instructor. I learned in nursing school that the way student nurses are taught is demeaning, ruthless, outdated, and overbearing. In my first education class in graduate school, we all made a pact not to destroy a student's self-esteem, that everyone has a right to learn. For the learning process should be a painless, non-threatening process in which the student's hunger for knowledge deepens instead of being depleted, kicked, and thrown out the window. Anyone who desires to be a nurse deserves to be a nurse, and any good nursing instructor will help to achieve this goal for every student and not destroy it. Life is too short to constantly fail, but it is important to take risks many times and to fail rather than never failing at all. Don't you think? Let the play continue. Scene 3. Narrator to right of stage just observes.
Sister Harriet, where are you? Come out, wherever you are.
Twin sister trapped inside Mrs. Henderson's mind.
I'm right here inside you, Sister Henrietta. I want out. You've kept me hidden all summer, and now it is my turn to express myself.
She is a kinder soul, the good side of the evil twin, one who longs to be perfect, to be with the students, nurturing, just the opposite of the evil twin.
Oh, I see. I created you when my husband died, and now you want to be constantly good. I can't stand it. I want to be more evil, and I feel the goodness draining from me. You're taking it all, and I hate you for it. Oh, now, evil sister, I am dumping all my evil thoughts to you, so I can become more powerful. I am the perfect nursing instructor, and you're the worst one ever created. Isn't there a way to compromise?
Evil twin struggling, looking around the stage for help, searching and not knowing what to say. Finally,
we have to tell the dean about our dual personality. We need therapy. Mr. Hicks has already guessed something is up, and so has the dean. I do want my old self back, but I don't know how to do it. I miss my husband so much. I'm so lonely and always wanted a sister to confide in. But now, it has gotten out of control. You want to dominate and I don't like it. You want to dominate and I don't like it. May the best one win. Yes, off to the dean we go. Ha ha ha. Off to the dean we go. Ha ha ha. I'm so happy. The secret will finally be out and we can get the help we need.
Henrietta skips off the stage like a little girl, but a little off and scary. The audience doesn't know what to think. The narrator shakes his head at the end of the scene, very nonverbal, doesn't say a word, follows Henrietta to Dean's office. Scene 4. Evil Twin is sitting in front of Dean. Dean is facing the audience. Big desk, mahogany, beautiful windows surround her. It looks like the Oval Office in the White House.
Now, Henrietta, tell me what's going on with your sister.
Henrietta, stumbling for words, lets her hair down, takes off her glasses. She has beautiful brown hair down to her shoulders. Henrietta, very afraid to admit the truth about her dual personality. Finally, good sister comes through.
I am not Henrietta. I'm Harriet. I'm the good sister, and I'm trapped inside Henrietta, and I want out. Please help us. We want to blend our personalities so we can be whole again.
Sounds very desperate, spills out these words very quickly like a cup of water overflowing, dripping onto the floor of reality.
Oh my God. You have a split personality? No wonder we've never seen the two of you together. Well, I kind of suspected it, but I couldn't quite place my finger on the problem. Both of you are quite clever for hiding one from the other. Yes, Henrietta is the one who is more deceitful and discreet.
She flips back into Henrietta, pulls hair back, up, puts back on glasses.
I have dominated this summer over Harriet, and now she wants out, and I can't handle it. Well, you both are lucky that I have a PhD in psychiatric nursing, and I am a registered hypnotherapist, and I think I can help you both. Shall we begin? No, I'm not ready. I have to have my first day with the students. I will try and be good, but I can't be good. I want to be evil, 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 and I don't know why. I'm so confused.
She breaks down and cries.
Oh dear, it's okay to be upset. You are here for help, and it was a very important first step to take. I'm very proud of you now that you are being honest to yourself and have admitted that you got a problem. So, let's start our session so that the blending can begin, and our ultimate goal will be for you to continue teaching the students, okay? That is my number one priority. Of course, we won't. I won't be able to heal both of you in one session. It may take several more sessions for the total blending of two personalities to merge. Can you be patient with me? And most importantly, can you be patient with yourself? I think so.
She is not so sure of herself, but is finally relieved the dean knows her secret of being a split personality. Stage fades black. Scene 5. Setting. A hospital. Nurses station in center of stage. Theme of scene. No space for nursing students on their first day of clinical. They are orienting to new unit in a hospital. 30-bed general medicine, general surgery floor. Includes cancer patient, Alzheimer's, young patients with broken bones, and quadriplegics and paraplegics. A diverse population. Each student is doing preparatory work on their patient. First time in a hospital and they are all nervous and terrified. They meet their first instructor, the Evil Twin. Evil Twin instructor, from now on referred to as Evil Twin. She's wearing all white outfits from the 50s. She looks black and white. She is close to 40 and has her hair up in a bun with a white cap. She is a nurse's nurse, the way they used to be in the 50s. Total career is nursing. No personal life. A widow, resents never having children and writes everything down in her notepad. Goal is to fail every student in the clinical. However, she always manages to fail one student a semester. Students are very black and white as well. They all are in white lab jackets. The whole set is in black and white, plus other staff in black and white. After all, this is how a dream starts, doesn't it? In black and white.
Welcome, class. Welcome to 2 Tower North by Northwest. We have a diverse group of patients here. You each have your assignments. Now go look for the charts, and then do your preparatory work needed to take care of your patient tomorrow. Since we just finished the tour of the floor, you should all be set to go. Now go! Shoo, shoo, shoo!
Tony walks over to chart rack, can't find his chart. Notices doctor to the left has the chart. Very naively says to the doctor, "Hi, can I have that chart? I'm a nursing student and I need to research my patient." Doctor, older with reading glasses, gray hair and receding hairline, in a tie, white jacket. "I don't think so. How dare you talk to me? Don't you know that I am a doctor and I shouldn't be bothered, especially by a nursing student, until I am finished with the chart?" "Oh, I really don't care. Now give me the chart." "Just wait a couple minutes, please, and I will be done shortly."
Is there a problem here?
She was observing from a distance and wasn't quite sure what was going on. Doctor and Tony look at each other, and at the same time, no, we'll work it out." Evil twin instructor walks away, disappointed she couldn't nail Tony being rude to a doctor. Tony blowing out a big breath of relief. "Oh, thanks, Doc. This is our first day of clinical, so I will be more polite in the future." "I appreciate that, son. I didn't want you to fail on your first day of clinical. We need more men in nursing." Tony, shocked by doctor's response. "Why do you say that?" "Well, we've invited women into the medical profession, so we should invite men in the nursing profession." He reaches out his hand and shakes Tony's. Tony, "Thanks again, Doc. See you around." Evil twin notices Doc and Tony shaking their hands and shakes her head in disappointment that they are getting along. Pamela Smart walks over to chart rack, can't find her chart, hovers over Pat, the unit clerk, who is too busy to notice Pamela at first, just standing there. Pat, talking on the phone, pissed off at his scheduler, who is giving her a hard time scheduling a patient's surgery. "Listen, bitch, I mean Beatrice," says her name very sarcastically. It almost sounds like a bitch. "I need you to make this appointment sooner, so the patient can get their gallbladder taken out as soon as possible." She pauses for a second, gasps, and then slams the phone down. She looks up at Pamela and jumps. "How long have you been standing there? Who the hell are you? Quit hovering over me."
I'm Pamela Smart, nursing student for Anywhere Out There Nursing School. I can't find the chart for room 32. Do you have it?
"Of course I do. This is the patient I'm trying to get to gallbladder surgery. I'll be done in a minute, so go back up a little bit and get out of my side vision." She glares at Pamela, who slowly takes a couple steps backwards. Pat, the unit clerk, looking quite pleased. Pamela backed a few steps away. Thanks." Other students find charts, try to sit down, and are booted out of their seats by other nurses and doctors. All students end up standing stage left in a storage room with mop, laundry bags, and the janitor looking at charts.
There's absolutely no place for us to look at charts. This sucks.
"Yep. Every semester, the students end up here in the storage room looking at charts. I brought in some old chairs I found in the basement." The students look at them. They are 30 years old and covered with spots, paint, and bodily fluids of ancient times. Thanks. Tony, "It stinks in here. What is that smell?" All the students look at Tony and then at the laundry basket. Janitor, "Shit." Students, no one has to say anything. They all roll their eyes. Evil twin arrives in broom closet.
Okay, students, you should all be done looking at charts. They need them back at the nurses' station. Let us go into a classroom located 13 South by Southwest to have a post-conference so we can learn more about each other.
Students groan. Ugh. It is on another floor, 11 stories up, so they have to move all their books, knapsacks, and belongings. Evil twin as curtain closes.
Come on now, students, quit complaining. A little exercise up the stairs won't hurt anybody.
"Why can't we take the elevators? It's 11 stories up." Evil instructor, "They're broken." She laughs a wicked laugh. Curtain closes. Narrator walks across the stage towards audience. Narrator, "Yes, welcome to a student's first day in a hospital setting. Most of the time, they do feel rejected, and it is exaggerated because they don't even have a room for them to read over charts. Evil Twin never did anything about finding them a room. She wants to make it hard for them to read charts, to get to know the patients. It helps to destroy their self-esteem. Only the strongest survive this first clinical. Shall we go up to floor 13? It's haunted, by students who have died there in the past. Just kidding. Leaves stage, shaking his head back and forth, reiterating how students often are treated poorly in a hospital setting. End of scene, scene 6. Students arrive on 11th South by Southwest, huffing and puffing after walking up 11 flights of stairs. Evil Twin really enjoys watching them in pain and suffering. Narrator to stage right, out of limelight, huffing and puffing as well. They all end up sitting around in a circle, throwing knapsacks and all their belongings, haphazardly trying to upset the instructor. The passive-aggressive behavior has begun. In addition, throughout the post-conference, students are being interrupted now and then by a nurse looking for charts. Nursing instructor, Evil Twin Henrietta Henderson.
Okay, class. Welcome to 13 Southwest. Now tell me a little bit about yourselves.
Has pen in hand, which looks like a spear, ready to write every single detail down. She has obsessive-compulsive disorder.
I am from Cincinnati, and I am quite smart. I plan on doing well in this clinical and anxious to learn about patient care. I am in the RN PhD program and looking to take the fast route to get my PhD in nursing. I want to do my research in women's health, preferably the bonding issue between mother and child.
Well, I can see I'm the only guy here, so that means if I call in sick, I'll be noticed. I want to become a nurse because I care about people. We need more men in nursing, and it is my goal to encourage men to do so, though I haven't quite figured out exactly how. All my friends laughed at me when I said I was going to go to nursing school. I've been on the waiting list for several years and was glad I finally got in. Several other students nod their heads as well. They have been on the waiting list too. Maria, Annabelle, and Rosa Maria all explained at the same time why they went to nursing school.
Well, I decided I wanted to go because, I was just doing one at a time, please.
I'm here because my mother was a nurse and my grandmother and her grandmother. It is in my blood in which the women of the family went to nursing school, not the men. Other Marys laugh as well. Tony looks at them, a little bewildered, his first experience of prejudice being a male nurse in a female-dominated profession.
I have wanted to be a nurse since kindergarten, and I used to play with my nurse doll when I was a little girl, so here I am.
I'm Hispanic and wish to work with the low-income families of my community at the local hospital so they have access to health care.
Well, I can see I'm the only Jewish one here. Anyway, I'm here to change the nursing profession. I want better staffing levels for nurses. I'm so impressed with the hospital in which the nurses are organized. Yes, my dad is a union activist, and my mom is a social worker at the local homeless shelter. I plan to follow in both their footsteps to unionize more hospitals and have homeless people have better access to health care.
All other students except instructors say, right on, that is so nice. Cool. Good for you.
That's nice, dear. Watch out for this one. Hi, my name is Tammy Faye Black. I am from down south and pretty much came here to hide from all my friends and family to become a nurse. Isn't that how they did it in the old days? The women would go off to nursing school and not be heard of for 3 years, like they were almost nuns or something. Anyway, I'm not a nun, for I'm 3 months pregnant and wish to make a better life for myself and my daughter.
Everyone congratulates Tammy Faye on her pregnancy. The instructor makes a note that student is pregnant on her notepad, and she is not happy about it. A frown appears on her face. Some student's nurse asks, "Who's the father?"
That is another story all unto itself. Right now, there's no father in the picture, and I'm gonna keep it that way.
Oh, interesting. We have to talk later. Other students look at nursing instructor rather nervously, not knowing if they truly trust her as a teacher. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I have an instructor for many years, and I love teaching student nurses. I find it challenging and both rewarding, although I do fail someone every semester. So I'm hoping all of you pass. But this is a tough clinical, and I expect the best out of everyone. No excuses. I don't want any crybabies in the clinical. When I kick you out of a patient's room, it will be for your own good, because I don't want you to kill anyone. Is that clear?
The students are shocked at how unfriendly the nursing instructor is and wish they hadn't said so much about themselves, since now they know it will be used against them.
Prep time, 0600 tomorrow, then clinical starts at 0700. See you then.
End of scene 6. Scene 7. Nurses complain about the instructor, students walking out of the hospital wrapping up the day.
She's evil. I never should have told her I was pregnant. Now she will use it against me. Did you see how she was writing everything down while we were talking? She's keeping a list of ways to fail us in the clinical. I know it. Oh, I talk too much.
No, you don't. I don't see any harm in being honest. Don't let her scare you, or any of us. We are here to learn. If we do our best, we should pass.
It'll be hard. We have anatomy, chemistry, microbiology, med-surg, nursing. How are we supposed to work and go to school with all these classes? Oh, don't tell her you're working. This school doesn't want you to hear about it. Just lie that you're indecently wealthy. You don't have a shitload of loans, and you can't wait to study 24 hours a day. I don't have to lie. I am independently wealthy. Well, it's still going to be hard for me, but I have a lot going on in my classes to get out of the way. I took a lot of them online, and it was easy to cheat on them. So all I have to do is just get through this clinical. Life is a breeze, and I plan on keeping it that way.
Narrator, rule number 1. Students don't hear this, only the audience. It comes over the loudspeaker narrator's voice. Life is never a breeze. One who assumes so is very, very scary. Said over loudspeaker, preceded by an alarm, which is used to call a blue card in a hospital setting. Voice of Pat, the unit clerk, is used for all alarm sounds. Rules of nursing school. 3 Marys.
You cheated? And are proud of it? Well, you better not cheat through a clinical, or all of us will report you. If you don't have to work and are rich, why do you have to cheat? I don't know. Well, I think if we all help each other out and support each other, we can make sure we all pass and be one big happy family.
All students look at each other and say,
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
for sure. Abigail, I will help you study. I do have straight A's and proud of it. I like being a tutor. There's no reason to cheat with me around. However, if I catch you cheating, I will report your ass to Mrs. Henderson so fast it will make your head spin. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yeah, I guess so. I just can't stand it when studying gets tough. I have such a hard time developing my critical thinking skills, and I just want to skip some steps to get there. Do you know what I mean?
All students nod in agreement.
Yeah, we all feel that way, but critical thinking is a process we all must go through. It is supposed to be hard. If we knew all the answers, we wouldn't be here. Look at me. I have this baby growing inside of me, and I'm scared to death. But I've been like a sponge learning everything I can about babies, prenatal care, and the first year of life. The more I learn, the less scared I become. You know what I mean?
All students agree.
True, but if we know too much, then we do have a right to be scared. I don't get it. What's so funny?
The rest of the students just roll their eyes. Students go their separate directions, going home to study and getting ready for clinical tomorrow. Narrator walks on front of stage, enters stage right, states the rule number 2. Rule number 2. I worry about the student who thinks they know it all more so than the student who knows they don't know it at all. Narrator. Being nursing instructors, Pamela is right. If our students knew it all, we wouldn't need to teach them the fine art of nursing. Yes, they learn their blood pressures, how to read a chart, putting the pieces together, but we must encourage them to look at the overall picture. We are not one to judge our students' personal lives, for their journey has just begun. And obviously, the journey they were on just ended. Life does that, ends and starts over. Similar to we are born, then we die, and we are reborn again. I have lived through 5 lifetimes in my life. Nursing is my 4th career, and I have done so many different things with it. But now it's time to move on to scene 8. Enjoy. End of scene 7. Male Metro, scene 8. Narrator. Students are all dressed in purple, blue, orange, and the color of the rainbow. Only staff in white is the rest of the hospital staff. Uniforms express the parity that all should be in the same color. Official first day of clinical in a hospital setting. Students are in the janitor's closet since the nurses are giving a report in the conference room. And it is 0700. Half the students are pretty sleepy.
My, everyone looks sharp and crisp, just like a rainbow. It is so pretty to see all you dressed professionally.
Students sneer at her. They notice everyone else is in white and they are all different colors. Why am I the one who has to wear orange? I feel like a mental patient in an insane asylum because I just killed somebody.
Tony, you look so metro.
What does that mean, Metro?
Rosemary means metro male, meaning you're a straight guy who looks gay, but really isn't?
Meaning people really don't know if I'm gay or not?
Are you?
My sexual preference is none of your business. I thought Metro Mail meant trying to shove an oversized letter through a small bus door. Do you get the analogy?
I don't get the analogy, but it doesn't matter. Tony, I like you whether you are gay or not. Maybe you are bisexual and prefer both sexes.
Tony laughs that Abigail could ask an intelligent but nosy question. Abby, I didn't think you knew the difference between gay, straight, or bisexual. What sexual preference are you?
I don't know. I like all 3. You know what, Tony? Men just don't belong in nursing, no matter how good you are. Someday, you'll never be as good as a female RN. Why do you really want to become a nurse?
You know what, Rosemary, an evil instructor, Nurse Henderson? Are you both gay? Are you closet lesbians?
How dare you ask us that question?
Oh, I see. The pot calling the kettle black. You can ask me about my sexual preference, but I cannot ask both of you about it.
Oh, come on, you 3. Let it go. I'm getting depressed and almost suicidal from figuring out who is gay or straight. And frankly, I don't care. Oh, I suppose you're right, Tony. I'm sorry.
No one really answers the question whether they are gay, straight, or bisexual.
Is it just me who's confused? Yes, Abigail, it is. Rosemary and I think you owe Tony an apology as well. I think it is an asset that men are in the nursing profession. So, Tony, not everyone thinks the same way as Rosemary. Do they?
Other Marys look at each other, roll their eyes. Meaning, drop the subject. It's crossing the line of professional work boundaries.
I'm sorry, Tony.
Really doesn't mean it.
Oh, well, regarding the uniforms...
Tammy tries to break the tension in the air. She's the one wearing the red uniform.
Yes, I should put on some makeup and try to make my cheeks nice and rosy red so I can look like a pregnant prostitute.
Evil instructor just glares at her and marks it down in notebook student called herself a prostitute. Very unprofessional.
Well, if you must know, with all of you wearing different color uniforms, it makes you stand out more, so I can keep an eye on you. Alright, class, I've made assignments. You will be paired up today, taking care of 4 patients total. Rosemary, Maria, and Annabella. Only 2 of you can work together. The rest of you, pair off.
Rosemary says under her breath.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it makes us all look gay. Rainbow? You know, rainbow. I love rainbows. You're right, Rosemary. We all look like one big happy rainbow. Shut up! Just shut up!
Tony overhears and tries to stop himself from laughing. The 3 Hail Marys, all 3 groan.
How are we to decide between the 3 of us which will work together?
They don't want to be separated. North Henderson just glares at them.
It's time to grow up, ladies. Now one of you separate. You cannot all be joined at the hips through this clinical. Got it?
The 3 Marys, they give her a glare that they all hate her completely.
Okay.
Let's trust. Reluctantly, Rosemary loses.
Okay, Pamela and Barbara will have the quadriplegic man in room 01. He's quite nice and will walk you through your cares. He has been a quad for the last 20 years. How did he become quadriplegic? Quadriplegic. Please repeat. Quadriplegic. Diving accident. Dove in headfirst into shallow water after a drinking party. Friends pulled him out of the water, not following spinal precautions. We will discuss this all post-conference. Tony and Rosemary have the patient in 02. A new below-the-knee amp due to diabetes. Non-healing foot ulcer. Go!
Tony and Rosemary are very upset. They now have to work together and trot off into room 02 to meet their patient.
The two Marys go into room 03 after being assigned a cancer patient near death. Just told she was going to die within the week.
Last two students go into a patient's room that is getting ready for dialysis. Other floor nurses moving faster than student nurses, treating them like nursing assistants, expecting baths to be done, vitals plus patient up for appointments by 0900. Student nurses exacerbated by 0930. End of metro scene. C9 Act 2. Scene 1. Narrator. Tony and Rosemary go into room 01 and meet their patient. Rosemary is more nervous than Tony and is upset she has to work with Tony. Patient's name is Mike, older gentleman, early 50s. He has diabetes the last 30 years of his life. He is blind and just lost his left leg. He is very pleasant, and Rosemary and Tony don't realize he is blind when they walk into the room. Tony. Hi, Mr. Michaels. My name is Tony. I'm a nursing student with SWAT Nursing School. SWAT Nursing School? Is that through the police department? You on a SWAT team? Tony doesn't get it at first, looks at Rosemary. I get it. Our school rhymes with SWAT, like in police force. Yeah, we get that all the time, though. I'm here from somewhere out there in nursing school. Mike. Oh, I see. Don't mean to be rude, but what is that perfume you're wearing? I mean, for a guy, it smells like kind of feminine. Tony laughs. Oh, that's not me. That's Rosemary. She's another student working with me. We are pairing up the first day. Since this is our very first clinical and we don't know what we are doing, can't you see? She's standing right next to me. Patient Mike. No, you idiot. I'm blind. Didn't they tell you that? Rosemary waves her hand down in a gay gesture towards Tony with a smirky smile. She regains her composure when she feebly attempts to talk to the patient. Tony glares at her and whispers, "You are such a witch." Rosemary continues smiling at Tony and fakely says to the patient,
No, they didn't. Sorry, patient Mike. I mean, Mr. Michaels. I'm sorry, what do you like to be called?
Mike laughs. Okay, you guys, don't be so nervous. That happens in a hospital setting a lot. Missed information. Could you do me a favor then and put a sign on the door that I'm blind and on my chart so that way everyone can see it? Get it? See it? That's funny coming from a blind guy, don't you think? Mike and Rosemary both nervously laugh. It breaks the tension in the air. Tony, you do have a weird sense of humor. Rosemary whispers back to Tony.
Your sense of humor is even weirder.
Narrator. Patient Mike is aware that secret silent messages are being spoken between the phony dialogue with the students because both students are whispering, thinking the patient can't hear. Nervously thinking he is deaf instead of blind, which happens a lot when students meet a blind person for the first time. But Patient Mike goes along with it for a while. Patient Mike. It's how I coped from losing my vision 10 years ago. It happens with diabetes, but now I'm bummed I lost my leg. By the way, I'm not deaf, so I can hear you say to Tony, mocking Rosemary, your sense of humor is even weirder. Okay, guys, I'm only blind. I can tell you two really don't like each other. Sorry. Rosemary doesn't think men belong in nursing, and I'm trying to convince her they do. Is that true, Rosemary? Rosemary, dumbfounded, doesn't say anything. Mike, oh, I see. Well, maybe by the end of the clinical, Tony can convince you men belong in nursing. In fact, my most competent nurses are male nurses, so try and keep an open mind, okay, Rosemary?
Okay, patient Mike. I'll try.
Yeah, that is a lot to go through, losing a leg and being blind on top of it. Don't remind me.
We need to do your vitals, give you a bath, our assessment from head to toe, and anything else?
Yeah, how about some pain meds? My leg, they cut off, is hurting pretty badly.
How can it hurt when it was cut off?
Phantom pain? Rosemary looks at Tony with a real dumb face and lifts her hands upside and whispers, "What?" Tony rolls his eyes. Mike laughs. Rosemary.
Oh, what's that? You still think you have your leg? Doesn't it feel cut off?
No, not really. It just hurts. Anyway, I have it sitting in the bathroom on cold ice if you want to see it.
Really?
She is appalled and curious at the same time. She has never seen an amputated leg before and starts slowly walking towards the bathroom. Tony notices Mike smiling as soon as he hears Rosemary's footsteps walking towards the bathroom. He winks at Tony, and Tony now knows for sure it is a setup, and Rosemary went for it hook, line, and sinker. Just as her hand is ready to turn the knob on the bathroom door, and Rosemary is about to open it. Gotcha! Both Tony and patient Mike start laughing. Marie screams and opens the door to find nothing but a toilet and a sink.
Oh, you guys! I fell for that one, didn't I?
Uh-huh. Just then, Mrs. Henderson walks into the room with her notepad.
What is going on in here? What is all the screaming about? Is everything okay, patient Mike?
She looks around the room.
Tony, Rosemary, did you kill him?
No. Tony and Rosemary are dumbfounded. Their mouths are open, and they cannot say a word for fear they will fail their clinical on their very first day. Patient Mike laughs. No, don't worry, lady nurse instructor. They haven't killed me yet. I was just playing a little joke on them. They're doing fine. Thanks for checking us out.
Okay, I guess.
Regains her composure, disappointed she couldn't fail 2 students at once, which is her favorite thing to do on the first day of clinical. Regretfully, she says,
Continue on, please.
Both Tony and Rosemary, yes, mama,
Mama.
in a deadpan face.
You mean ma'am, correct?
Yes, ma'am. When nursing instructor leaves the room, all 3 of them laugh together. It is a bonding moment. End of scene 9. Scene 10. Setting will be 4 hospital rooms enclosed in one big square in which each room can move by, turning in the square, and actors stay in the square after each scene is completed. All the rooms will be a representation of a patient's room. Each room will have a different color. One pink, one blue, one pea yellow, the other lime green. All rooms look ancient, very bare, and have ugly pictures on them. Barbara's talking to Nurse Bertie outside of patient's room. Abigail just listening.
What's wrong? You seem upset. Like, you're gonna cry? Can you believe they are forcing me to do a double tonight? It's called mandatory overtime, and I am so tired. I am 40 years old, my feet hurt, and I haven't seen my husband in a week. My kids forgot what I look like, and I have an empty refrigerator in my house growing mold with no food in it. Really? Can the kids eat mold? I heard it's good for you. Is she really as stupid as she sounds?
Barbara.
Yes, she is. We're trying to figure out how she got into the program. We were thinking she forged her grades or something. Anyway, Nurse Bertie, don't you have a union to protect you guys? Abigail, Barbara, is there a reason you are standing here so long and talking? My God, I have been watching you, and does it take 15 minutes for a report on one patient? No. I'm sorry. We were talking about different recipes and got off track.
Narrator. All 3 look at each other, relieved. Nurse Bertie did not reveal they were talking about the union. Mrs. Henderson would have failed them on the spot. She's very anti-union instructor and just smiles and pretends she doesn't know anything about unions, when in her past she helped bust one at a different hospital she worked at before she was a nursing instructor.
Oh, I see. Anyway, will you tell the students tomorrow I will not be teaching? I'm meeting with the dean with my sister to talk about how she is doing. Okay. Sure. Is clinical canceled for tomorrow then? No, you wish. No, Mr. Hicks will be here tomorrow. He isn't as good as me because he's too easy with the students and is only his first year of teaching.
Evil instructor walks off stage right. Abigail and Barbara look at each other, raise their hands in a fist and say, "Yes!" They are so relieved Mrs. Henderson will not be teaching clinical tomorrow. They run to tell the students, running off stage left. End of scene 10. Scene 11. Set. Two are walking home after clinical. Tony. Tammy Faye, I think you are so funny, and I love how you said, and I look like a pregnant prostitute dressed in red.
Well, I felt sorry for you wearing that bright orange scrub top. You do look like a sore thumb on a web page.
Tammy Faye, I don't think you look like a woman off the streets. I think you are a beautiful woman who has a wonderful pregnant glow about you. I think your husband was a fool to let you go.
He didn't let me go. I ran away.
What?
He tried to kill me and wanted me to have an abortion. I couldn't do it, so I just ran away.
I'm so sorry, Tammy. That's terrible. I can't blame you for running. You know, Tammy Faye, the school offers a self-defense class for the students. We should take it, so if that jerk ever shows up again, we can take care of him.
Thanks, Tony. That's a good idea, but don't tell anyone what I'm going through. I just want to concentrate on getting through school and having the baby. After all, the divorce is final tomorrow, and I'm so excited. We gotta celebrate.
Sounds good to me. Around 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
It's a deal, Tony.
Oh, he's never been hugged by a beautiful pregnant Southern woman before, and it made him feel really, really good. End of scene 2, scene 12. Narrator, hospital setting. Mr. Hicks substituting for the day. Mrs. Henderson, evil twin instructor, is meeting with the dean, so couldn't make it to teach clinical for day. Students are relieved. Heard Mr. Hicks is nicer and an easier instructor. Mr. Hicks arriving earlier for clinical. He is upset that students have a broom closet for an office and has worked out a deal with the unit clerk to have the peace room for a half an hour before the shift starts at 0700. Tony arrives, is impressed with the new room. Wow, you got us out of the broom closet. Good job, Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks. Yeah, I had a bargain with the unit clerk for it. She accepted a free lunch for today, and you can have it more often if you bring treats. Anyway, thanks for coming in early so we can talk about the clinical, Mrs. Henderson. Are any students at risk for failing? No, not yet. You know, they have the coolest patients on this floor. We are barely hanging in there, though. She almost caught Barbara talking union to Nurse Birdie. They claimed they were talking recipes. Yeah, I have sat on the bargaining team a couple of times for wage reopeners and contract negotiations. I know Barbara's parents have experience with unions as well. Yeah, she wants me to disguise herself as Nurse Birdie for contract negotiations. Birdie can't make it because her son is having surgery. He broke his leg pretty bad when he fell off his bike, and she wants to be with him when he wakes up after the operation. Oh, that will be our secret. I'd like to sit in on that negotiation. Yeah, Barbara's getting the nurses pretty excited, and half of them should be there tomorrow. They're all pretty sick of long hours, poor pay, and not being covered for work injuries. 2 nurses hurt their back this week, and 1 got stuck by a needle. Gosh, being a nurse is a dangerous job. Yes, it is. Tony, hang in there. Being a male nursing student doesn't get any easier once you are an RN, so you have to be good. If you need any help with anything, let me know, okay? Yeah, well, there's one issue that's bothering me. It's hard being at the same hospital where my dad died. I mean, I keep on having these flashbacks of what he said to me last, and when the day he died, he looked so peaceful. It's hard for me to talk about it. I miss him so much. Oh, Tony, I'm sorry. I didn't know your dad passed away here. Tony, what is the last thing your dad did say to you before he died? He told me to be happy and that he loved me very much. And I told him, of course I'm going to be happy. But since he has been gone, I've been more sad than happy. My sister and I, we don't talk a lot, so that helps. but it's like this big hole in my life that I can't fill. Like I'm an empty donut, you know what I mean? Sort of. I mean, I've taken care of patients who have died, but my dad is still alive and 80 years old. But in many ways, I'm a grown man and my dad will always be a part of my life. But you kind of grow apart as you get older. I mean, it just happens. You get a girlfriend, marry, have kids. They visit at Christmas time, but it's not quite the same. Dads are dads, I guess. Yeah, but my dad will always be a part of my life, and I do feel cheated somehow that he died when I was barely 20. I mean, he'll never be over for Christmas except for his picture on the mantle. I mean, you're lucky your dad is still alive. I'll never have the chance to see my dad grow old. I know, I'm sorry. Oh, well, thanks for listening, it helps. No problem, Tony. Grieving may get easier over time, but it will never completely go away. Just keep on remembering him, and I know someday he will want you to be happy, but maybe not today, okay? Okay, I'm sure glad Mrs. Henderson isn't here today. I could never have this conversation with her, but I hate you to say it. Nurse Henderson hates your guts. She thinks you're too easy on the students and that you are too inexperienced. Yes, I am working on getting her fired. She's meeting with the dean today, so hopefully she'll straighten her out. This is just so damn mean. I miss her sister. She's just the opposite. Oh well. She's not feeling well and may be back next week. I hope so. I haven't met her yet. Isn't it interesting they are just opposites from each other? I mean, they are identical twins and they just must hate each other. Oh, yeah, they do. One talks down the other. It's amazing they survived growing up together. You know what's odd, though? They completely avoid each other. I mean, they don't even come to the same meeting together. I always have to give the notes to one or the other since they do not even speak to each other. It's weird. Like they are the same person or something, but just have different personalities. Other students walk in saying,
Hi, Mr. Hicks. We are really happy to see you. The evil twin instructor is in here. I mean, Mrs. Henderson. Sorry, sir. Hey, we like the new room. Much better than the broom closet. Thanks for getting it.
It's okay. I know exactly what you mean. Shall we get started, class? Today's going to be a fun day, so get ready to learn and let's go. Class and Mr. Hicks walks off stage right. Narrator. Students are excited for the day instead of being intimidated. Already they like Mr. Hicks because he gives them their personal space back and respects them as students and doesn't assume they are stupid. Curtain closes. End of scene 12. Scene 13. Narrator. Henrietta's second therapy session. Sit in on the fun. When does this ever happen to sit in on a psychotherapy session? They're usually so intimate and personal. Want to have more? No? Setting. Dean's office.
Here we are again, Dean Butterfield. Tell me, why haven't you fired me? I'm sure the students have complained enough. Quite frankly, you were pretty close to being fired, but I figured something was up. And secondly, we have a shortage of nurse educators, so I have to keep what I have and take what I can get. And in your case, I didn't realize I got 2 instructors for the price of 1. I'm hoping to blend your personality so that you may have some redemption being a clinical instructor. My ear is really starting to ache from all the complaints about you. Well, I guess I am lucky you are giving us a second chance. Anyway, where do we start? From the beginning. When did you split personalities? I think about a year ago, right before you hired us. I woke up one day and realized a whole day went by that I had no memory of whatsoever. I just lost my last instructor job and I was really, really depressed. Suicidal? Not so much suicidal, but wanting a break from myself. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. It gave permission for your new personality to move in, like putting a for sale sign in the middle of your frontal lobe.
Dean Butterfield opens up her drawer and pulls out a pack of gum, unwraps it and starts chewing.
Do you want some? Henrietta?
Henrietta, the gum sets off a trigger, and Henrietta is about to say no when she twitches, cocks her head to one side, lights flash on and off on stage, and Harriet's personality appears.
I mean, yes, I love gum. I let all my students chew it too. When did you start chewing, Dean Butterfield? Oh, I see. I have Harry in front of me now. Where have you been hiding, and why did the gum trigger your personality? I don't know. Maybe it was because my husband always chewed gum, and it makes me think of him. I see you're still grieving. Yes, I am. But with Henrietta and me, it seems like we've been fighting for too long. I want Henrietta to quit being mean, and she wants me to stop being so damn nice. We are opposite ends of the spectrum, and I am just tired from all the fighting. I miss my husband so much. I see. She's not letting you grieve. When did you first appear? Oh, right after Henrietta lost her last job. Actually, I made her quit. She was only functioning as a nurse examiner for an online university that, at the end of the course, tests the students' abilities to be a nurse. She actually loved it because she could only observe student clinical skills and not interact with them. I hated it. I mean, she failed every student. Why are you two so lonely?
Harriet, uncomfortable, caught off guard.
I don't know what you mean. Henrietta is lonely. That is why she created me. I'm like a sister to her that she never had. When her husband died, she was left penniless and ostracized from his family. They never liked her. You are part of Henrietta. Why are you so lonely?
Harriet can't avoid the question anymore. She realizes a therapy moment that she knew why Henrietta was lonely, but she didn't know why she was lonely. She responds, pauses.
I don't know. Yes, let's explore that some more. In other words, why are you Henrietta's opposite self and not her total self? Because she hates me. I am nice, confident, friendly, and a people pleaser. Will do anything to have someone like me. I avoid conflict totally. If I were in a fighting ring with my enemy, I'd let them win. Does that make sense? Yes and no. I think Henrietta may hate you, but she loves you as well. What?
Shocked that the dean would make that comment about her sister, she couldn't tolerate it at all. Narrator, Dean Butterfield just stares back, non-judgmental, creating a silence that only Harriet or Henrietta can break. Silence.
I guess I represent Henrietta's ideal self, and there are too many obstacles in the way for her to be like me. Obstacles? What kind of obstacles? Why, she's the only one who holds all the anger inside of her, like a teapot ready to explode. She can't even deal with the fact that she's still angry for her husband dying. Not me. I just let the anger go. Everyone dies. Why do people pretend that we are never gonna die? It doesn't make sense. Because death is so finite, meaning when we die, no one will ever be like you or me. That is the tragedy of death.
Harriet pauses.
Really? I guess I am more realistic that I will not live forever. Excellent. Now, our hour's up, so I want you to do something for me the next time before we meet. Yes? I want you, Harriet, to teach the students the next time and leave Henrietta at home. She needs a day for the rest. We will meet at the same time next week. I don't know if I can do it. What will Henrietta say? I'm sure you can think of something to tell her. Now go! I have some research I'm working on, plus an article I'm writing for the new school paper. Your research and article are more important than my therapy session? Do I have to pay for this, or is it a benefit that I am entitled to?
Audience laughs. Dean just looks up and says nothing. Curtain closes. Narrator. What happens to us when we lose a loved one? A part of us is gone, and we feel like it is forever. So we make up friends and family to fill in the gaps. As nurses, we see tragedy every day, and we are expected to go on as if we can just handle it. Well, in Henrietta's case, she created a new personality to fill in the gap in which she didn't allow herself to grieve for the one person she loved most in her entire life. Unfortunately for Henrietta, creating a new personality is not an effective way of coping. It just put her more in denial that her husband was really gone. But it is how she coped at the time. She had no support from her friends and family, and when that happens, we feel very much alone. End of scene 13. Act 2. Scene begins in which audience suddenly surrounded by picket signs that say, "Ban mandatory overtime. We want better working conditions. Save our shift back from injuries. Save our shift from back injuries." Nurses are chanting the signs, some even saying, "We need more money to feed our families. We need better retirement and health insurance." All are wearing yellow, the color of the ICUP union the nurses belong to. International Caregivers Union of Professionals. Yes, a made-up union. However, the issues are based on real bargaining issues very dear to nurses. Up on stage is a bargaining table. Management slowly walks in, very quiet, very formal, very properly dressed, with stern faces, showing no emotion. All nurses walk on stage. The ones with signs stand behind the nurses' bargaining team. Barbara, disguised as Nurse Birdie, leads the bargaining team. Union representative, Nurse Sam on her right. They are ready to fight. Tony and rest of students are hiding in the background, showing their faces, only trying to see around the picketers. They love the excitement and can't believe Barbara is getting away with disguising herself as Nurse Birdie. They are so impressed. Management has a gavel and starts slamming it down on the table. Order! Order in these negotiations. We need silence if we are to continue.
Yes, we will be silent, but our numbers here prove we stand united as nurses. And this many nurses and more will be here every day until we get what we want from the contract. Even if you have the bargaining 10 miles away from the hospital, we will bust the nurses in on all shifts to be here. So play games if you want. We will win.
Staff nurses behind Barbara whisper loudly,
Yes, yes,
"Yes, yes." Management just stares at them. Let the bargaining begin.
First, we want to ban mandatory overtime.
No. You will be abandoning our patients.
Hire more staff.
No. We don't have the money to, and we don't want to. We like working you guys harder and see the sweat on your faces. It proves we are getting our money's worth out of you.
We are working unsafe. After 16 hours, my eyes get blurry, my back hurts, and my mind feels numb. We are more than sweating. We are killing ourselves. We want to ban mandatory overtime.
Nurses in background. Yes.
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 Yes. Ban mandatory overtime.
Management stares at them, gets up slowly and leaves. Nurses keep on shouting, "Ban mandatory overtime. Ban mandatory overtime." Scene ends. Negotiations ended even before they started. Curtain closes. End of Act 2, Scene 1. Act 2, Scene 2. Miscellaneous scene. Pam and Maria are with evil nursing instructor who overwhelms them with patient tasks to do. Maria is completely flustered and nervous and steps on IV tubing, causing the IV to rip out of a patient's arm. Secondly, she accidentally pulls out a Foley on a patient because she tries to get him up and leaves it on the bed. Patient screams in utter pain. Maria runs out of the room screaming, disheartened. She fails the clinical. 1 down, 7 more to go.
All right, Pam and Maria, you come with me. I picked the most difficult patient for you two. He will have an IV with antibiotics running, a Foley, TPN, and a chest tube. Any questions?
What does TPN stand for? A type of dynamite?
No, you idiot! It stands for Total Parental Nutrition. It's a form of feeding through the veins that requires a central line. It is a very high in dextrose and osmolarity. So if you just use a little IV line, it would be called PPM, Peripheral Parental Nutrition. In either case, it should be used as a last resort for nutrition for a patient if their GI tract doesn't work. TPN is hard on the liver over a long period of time.
How did you learn all that?
I read the assignment for today. It was only 100 pages long. Excellent, Pamela Smart. Your name matches your intelligence quite nicely. Thanks.
She is not sure if it's a compliment or not.
Oh, I get that all the time.
Maria rolls her eyes at Pamela. Both hate each other at that moment.
Good evening, Mr. Castaway. My name is Mrs. Henderson, and we will be working with Pam and Maria, the two students I told you about earlier.
Oh yeah, whatever, just do what you need to do and let me sleep. I'm sick and tired.
Very well. Maria, hold on to this IV bag while I hang a new one.
Maria grabs a bag. It has an opening in it since it was just taken off the IV line, and water just squirts straight up into the air to hit the ceiling. Maria screams. She falls over backwards and knocks over the chest tube pleurovac. The chest tube pulls out of the patient. He screams in pain. Maria goes to comfort him awkwardly while she runs to the other side of the bed, pulls out his Foley. Patient screams again. Maria screams. Instructor freaks out and starts yelling at Maria to leave the room. Pamela grabs Maria and heads out of the room. She has to stop herself from laughing since she feels sorry for Maria and the patient. Maria is crying on her way out the door with Pamela. She is devastated. As Maria is walking out of the door, evil instructor yells,
"You just failed your clinical, and don't let the door hit your butt on the way out."
As Pamela walks out the door, she sees Mrs. Henderson give the patient a high five, pretending to go along with the setup to fail Maria. Pamela is furious, and Maria runs off the stage crying.
"You are insidious. You faked the whole scenario? How dare you set up Maria? Why is it so important to you that we all fail? You are the devil incognito, and you make me sick. How dare you talk to me that way? I saw you give the patient the high five. You set up Maria and myself, and we were too nervous to see it." "Oh, I was just apologizing to the patient for the incompetent nursing students." "You liar. How dare you say we are incompetent? You are the one who is incompetent, and I will be going to Dean Butterfield about this incident." No, wait. I'll reinstate Maria. Let's just pretend this whole incident never happened, so don't be a tattletale, okay? I have one more year yet to pay off my debt consolation loan, so I can't stop teaching now. I could end up homeless and on the street. Would you like that scenario on your hands?
Pamela just smiles.
Oh, I see. Is there any way you would reconsider turning me in?
Pamela, she identifies this moment of opportunity to gain some leverage.
Okay, I will only not go to the dean if you promise to pass every single one of us, including Maria. Is that understood? You drive a hard bargain. Is that a threat? You bet it is. I will do my best. I mean, if a student is truly incompetent, I would need to fail them. I have a society to protect, you know. We'll see about that. I am on to you, so you better change your ways or else. Well, Mrs. Wright, Harriet, my twin sister will be here tomorrow for clinical. I need a day off. Just having you students for 2 days has worn my soul down to a rose petal blowing in the wind.
They both glare at each other, and evil instructor walks off stage right. Nurse Bertie and Nurse Sam witness the whole scenario since it was done out in the hallway. Both say to Pamela,
"Good job, dear. We've been waiting for a student to get in her face for a long time. We're on your side. Let us know if there's anything you need that we can do to help." "Thanks. I appreciate that. She's mentally ill, isn't she?"
Nurse Bertie and Nurse Sam. They go off stage right. Second part of scene.
Maria, you are back in the clinical. Mrs. Henderson let you back in.
What? How did you?
Yes, I talked to Mrs. Henderson, and she's willing to give you a second chance. I'm sorry I was not supportive of you back in the patient's room. When I get nervous, I tend to show off and pretend that I'm perfect.
I know. You are really scary sometimes, you know? I did read the assignment last night. It was just that it was so much information, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think I can make it in this program. I want to quit.
You know, after what you just went through, I can't say I blame you. But right now, I want you to trust me. That I can feel you can make it. And sometimes it is more important to lean on your friends instead of just giving up on yourself.
Maria thinks about it, rubs away some tears, gives Pamela a hug. I'll try, I guess. I'm really going to need your help. Pamela just nods her head.
Yes, I know. I'll be here for you, Maria. I'll be here.
Narrator, Pamela really doesn't tell Maria that the instructor set her up. She knows Maria is too emotionally upset to deal with the truth right now. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. Act 2, Scene 3. Scene before Tammy sees her ex-husband in the window of her dorm. Tony and Tammy Faye are walking home after celebrating her divorce. She's now an unmarried, pregnant woman, and Tony finds her very attractive, and he's not sure why. I don't know why I'm so attracted to you.
I know why I'm so attracted to you. You have a vulnerability about you that is quite charming. Like, you're an abandoned baby I just can't stop kissing and feel sorry for.
Tony, taking her hand, laughs. Why am I so vulnerable?
I don't know why. It's those big brown eyes and strong, masculine, clumsy hands and great veins in your arms that I would love to put my first IV in.
What? I see. You're attracted to my veins and not my body.
You got it. I am pregnant with another man's child and you still find me attractive?
You are so beautiful. I don't know why he left you.
I left him. He tried to kill me and my baby.
Turns away from Tony.
I ran for my life as fast as I could until I found a place I could call home. And now, here I am with you, feeling safe and warm and lovable once again.
I feel your radiant energy, your light-giving source, and I feel so alive when I'm around you. You are the bravest woman I've ever met, and I hope someday you find true happiness.
Yes, I do. I have a rain check long time coming my way. I haven't seen happiness in so long. Why am I just lucky to be alive right now?
Hugs Tony.
Thanks for caring, Tony. My mom would love to meet you. She says, any man wishing a woman to be happy is a man worth marrying.
I wouldn't go that far. Why, I don't even know the name of your favorite animal.
Why, it's a miniature dachshund. I have two of them at home. One's a pure red, and the other is a black and tan. They have the cutest puppies together. I wish I could have kept every one. But then I would have 10 little wieners running around my dorm room right now. Barbara would not like that at all. Why, she tried to unionize them and eat me out of my house and home.
They both laugh as they get closer to the dorm room. Tammy and Faye and Tony are holding hands. They stop in front of the dorm. They laugh some more, then stop and look into each other's eyes, and they kiss. End of scene. A man can be seen hiding in the bushes observing them both. Act 2, Scene 4. Tammy Faye is in her dorm room with Barbara. Setting. They are on the first floor and have a big window center stage. It is through this window that Tammy Faye will see her ex-husband stalking her. He is back in her life and she is terrified.
Barbara, I can't believe you disguised as Nurse Birdie. And now you're gonna help with the strike at the hospital? You are crazy. What if our evil instructor finds out? She'll flunk you in a second, honey, faster than she can pull out a whip to snap it across your ass. What? She'll fire me because I'm out of my scope of practice? Yeah, you bet. Well, you're right. I know I got away with it once. So, Nurse Birdie is going to take over. Her son is doing better, and she knows most of the nurses at the hospital to get organized. I'll play second fiddle now. Oh, thank God. Besides, Tony, you are my favorite student in the clinical. Thanks, Tammy Faye. By the way, how is it going between you and Tony? No problems there, honey. I think I'm falling in love again, but this time, it's for real.
She turns to comb her hair in the mirror and her ex-husband appears in the window. Tammy Faye sees his face in the mirror and screams. She starts shaking.
Ah, he's back! He's back! No, my life is in danger.
Smiling an evil smile, ex-husband disappears from the window.
Oh my God, what is wrong?
Barbara looks at the window and doesn't see anyone there.
You didn't see him? My ex-husband. He's back. He's stalking me again. He's gonna try and kill me. What? He never wanted this baby. He wanted me to get an abortion and I said no. He threatened to kill me, so I ran away as fast as I could. I came here to get away from him. I don't want to die. I want to keep my baby. I want my baby to live. Tammy Faye, I am so sorry.
Scene ends. Act 2, Scene 5. Barbara and Nurse Birdie meeting with Sam, other nurses. They are planning to strike. Setting, same break room that student nurses meet in for clinical.
You need to strike. Management is not listening.
We can't strike. We'll be abandoning our patients.
I know, they will bring in travel nurses who will cross the picket line and pay them hundreds of dollars. So the patients won't be abandoned, will they? Barbara's right. We need to strike. I'm so tired of these poor working conditions and management just looking the other way while we get hurt and work 16-hour shifts. I just can't do it anymore. I'm depressed and I need medication soon if I don't get out of this god-awful environment.
Yeah, we feel the same. We are depressed and on medication and we can't do it anymore. Let's do it. Sam, Barbara, and Nurse Birdie look at each other and realize at that moment they have to strike to get any changes done. Yes, let's do it. They form a huddle like a group of football players that put on their fists together. Rah, rah, rah. Let's play tough. Let's get our backs right. Let's strike, strike, strike. They run off stage, ready to organize. Scene switches to management. Chief of Nursing. I'm afraid we worked them too hard. They are going to strike. Assistant Chief. I know. I thought I could save more money by hiring less nurses and working the ones we have twice as hard. So disappointed my plan didn't work. I wonder if the CEO of the hospital is going to fire us. CEO walks in. Your nurses are striking. I'm outraged. You both are fired and I'm going to negotiate with nurses to end the strike. Get out of my sight. Chief and Assistant Chief. They start crying and leave the stage. Narrator. You see, management has no union, so their jobs are very expendable. Strike scene. Picket signs surround the audience once more. Nurses chanting for better wages, banning mandatory overtime. Narrator. Barbara is now disguised as Sam, since Nurse Birdie can now make it to the bargaining table. Sam's husband had a heart attack and couldn't make it to the final bargaining moment. Nurse Birdie will lead the negotiations. Management is seen walking on stage. Very somber, very businesslike. All the nurses run up on stage, and Barbara and Nurse Birdie and several other nurses sit down across from management. Nurse Birdie to Barbara.
Now, Barbara, you let me do all the talking, okay? I don't want them to find out you are not Sam, okay? Okay, don't worry. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Once again, management and Barbara are sitting across from each other. Nurse Birdie.
Well, management, we noticed that our vice president of nursing isn't here, and her assistant. Did you fire them?
No. They left for family reasons. Nurse Birdie nudges her with her elbow. Management. We are in the process of looking for a new vice president of nursing, one who has more experience being cordial to the nurses' union.
What? You want someone that won't ignore our requests for better wages and banning mandatory overtime?
Yes. Hooray! Let's end this strike.
We want to work again, but only 8-hour shifts, not 16 hours a day off, with 1 day off in 7 days.
Yes, we agree that we have said no 1,000 times to banning mandatory overtime. But we are going to over budget already with the strike from all the other travel nurses we hired that we want to end it right now. Give us what we want, and we'll end it. We will give you a raise, but will not stop mandatory overtime. Boo!
Boo!
All right, you win. We will ban mandatory overtime. Now get back to work and take care of our patients.
Hooray!
Hooray!
We can now be at home with our families and enjoy working once more.
Sam and Nurse Birdie hug each other. Barbara's wig falls off and everyone just laughs, including management. They don't get that she is just a student and the nurses surround her, put her wig back on and say, she's recovering from chemotherapy and doesn't like her new hair color, okay? Evil twin instructor sees the wig fall off of Barbara and her mouth gapes open.
Oh my gosh!
End of scene. Act 2, Scene 7. Tammy Faye is walking back to dorm room with Barbara. They are confronted by Tammy's Faye's stalking ex-husband.
Oh, Barbara, I'm so tired. The baby is starting to kick. I'm at 4.5 months and I'm just starting to feel good again. I was so nauseous the first 3 months. It was hard to keep anything down. I wish I had that problem. I think I gained 10 pounds since school started. With the strike and everything, those nurses sure like to eat. I can't believe the strike has ended. The CEO fired the vice president of nursing and her assistant. Yes, the Wicked Witch is gone. Amen. I know, but we still have the evil instructor to deal with. Oh, how am I gonna get through the rest of this clinical? Anyway, my divorce is now final. Tony and I celebrated last night, and he encouraged me to look towards my future, not dwell on my past. Easy for him to say he's not pregnant.
Tammy's ex-husband pops out from behind a bush. Ha ha ha! The witch who is pregnant and now single starts shacking up with another guy. Yet? I saw you kissing him the other night. You are going to die for that kiss, I can guarantee it. Brings out a knife. Barbara and Tammy Faye are taken aback. From what they learned in self-defense class, they hold him off for a little bit. They back away from him and keep their distance.
Quick, Barbara! Ring the whistle and say you're on fire. People will come running.
Barbara blows the whistle. She is nervous. She stands in front of Tammy Faye.
Don't you dare touch her. She's out of your life now. Why don't you just go away?
Because I hate her so much I want to kill her.
Why?
She ruined my life. Now I have to pay child support and have a low-paying job. She's better off dead.
Well, have you thought about unionizing?
What?
You don't scare me anymore. I'm tired of running.
She pushes Barbara aside and Swift kicks him in the groin. He is shocked.
Now get the hell out of my life. This baby's entitled to a decent life, and you will pay child support or I'll garnish your wages. Plus, that'll be hard to do if you're in jail. I have a restraining order against you, so beat it!
She puts up 2 fists to fight him off. The rest of the students come running when they heard Barbara's whistle and yell for help. They surround Tammy Faye. Students. There is strength in numbers. We'd love Tammy Faye, and you can't kill her unless you kill all of us first. Ex-husband. So be it. He pulls out a knife and points it at them. They are all staring at him, crouching down in sparring positions and ready to fight for Tammy's life. They see the police creeping up behind him and show no emotion. Police. Drop your knife. If you don't, we'll shoot, and you are a dead man. They have 3 guns pointing at the ex-husband. Ex-husband looks at Tammy Faye. Hell, you isn't worth it, and drops his knife.
Have fun in jail.
Police whisk him away. Exit off stage. Students and Tammy Faye. Still good.
Yes, he is out of my life.
Hooray for Tammy Faye! Hooray for Tammy Faye! Tony and her look at each other and give each other a hug. The rest of the students hug Tony and Tammy Faye as well. It is one big group hug. End of scene. Start of Act 2, Scene 8. All the students meet Harriet at clinical in the hospital setting.
Hello, students. My names are Harriet and Henrietta. My name is Harriet, and I will be your instructor today.
She pushes the other personality away.
Henrietta took a much-needed vacation and will be back next week. Any questions?
Oh my God. You look just like Henrietta. But your hair is different and you don't have glasses, plus you seem friendlier. It's weird.
I know it's different. Think of me as the opposite of Henrietta. What she would do, I would do the opposite. Got it?
Harriet starts looking around the room, shooing Henrietta away. Shoo, shoo. Students a little confused. We think so. They look at each other and realize Harriet isn't quite right. She's a little strange like her sister.
Okay. Let's go meet the patients. Miss Smart and Miss Ray, you will be going to room 01. It is a patient with a GI bleed, female, 75. She's actually a retired RN. She just celebrated her 50-year-old class reunion being a nurse. Her name is Beth Armstrong. She had a colonoscopy a week ago, and it may have caused the GI bleed.
The other students get their assignment, but the play will focus on Pamela's Smart assignment and Annabelle Ray's assignment.
Annabelle, I'm nervous. We are going to have the RN as a patient? Aren't you nervous?
No, not really. She's old. It sounds kind of boring. This is only our 3rd day at clinical. We should be having patients of our own by now. Huh? This is our 3rd instructor in a week. So far, this clinical sucks. I hate it.
You know, you're right. Why don't you tell Miss Harriet, about your dilemma? She seems nice enough. She could give you your own patient. I can handle this one.
Okay, thanks. Leave stage left. Other students walking by, walking patients mouthing words to them. Harriet observing, and Annabelle can be seen going up to her and asking for a different patient assignment. As Pamela walks into a patient's room, stage clears slowly until Pamela and patient are only one talking.
Hello, Mrs. Armstrong. How are you? My name is Pamela.
Mrs. Armstrong, very sweet lady, almost frail, but holds her own. She has aged well and seems friendly. Hi, you must be Pamela. Harriet told me all about you. Come in, sit down, and tell me about yourself. Pamela is taken back because she feels such a healing energy from this patient, as if she is full of knowledge that is bigger than life, but she can't place her finger on it.
Sure. I must admit I am a little nervous since you are a nurse already.
Oh, don't worry, dear. I got 2 units of blood and I'm feeling better. Oh, this unit is done. Did you want to get my vitals?
Sure. Any advice for a student nurse starting out in nursing?
Boy, you just go right for the direct question, no? Well, I don't want to sound too preachy, but nursing was hard in my day. Why, we didn't even have antibiotics, and ICU nursing was just getting started. We had to deal with World War II, the polio epidemic, TB, all those infectious diseases that seem under better control now.
Yeah, we're now dealing with MRSA, AIDS, people having lack of health insurance, and more single moms than ever having babies. Times change, don't they?
Mrs. Armstrong, they sure do. Harriet sneaks up and watches from the door. She is pleased with how Pamela is getting along with Mrs. Armstrong.
Has anyone ever told you that you seem to radiate a healing glow of energy? It's as if you have this innate knowledge that you are trying to pass on to me, and really, I just felt it for the first time I touched you. It made me shiver.
Yes, they have. I am not sure what it's all about. Maybe it's because I have had a wonderful life, and besides all the aches and pains I am a happy person, one who is content. And you?
No, I'm not really a content person. It's hard to be a student now. Exams to study for, trying to maintain a non-existent social life. Plus, I'm in the PhD RN program, and it seems I'm studying all the time, yet never have any time to really enjoy myself.
You are not living in the moment. You are connecting to who you will be in the future. But who is Pamela now? The Pamela I am staring at this very moment.
I don't know who I am. Do you?
Why, yes, I see an intelligent young woman who has her whole life in front of her. You have so much to offer, and already you have given so much. Live in the moment more, and you will be a happier person. Never wish your life away, because once the years are gone, they never come back.
Thanks, I think, for the advice. It does help, living in the moment. I'll think about that some more. Thanks, Mrs. Armstrong. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, dear. Pamela does her assessment and leaves the room. She runs into Harriet.
Oh, Mrs. Armstrong is so nice. And you are too. I'm so glad you're not an evil instructor like your sister.
She pulls out a pack of gum, offers a piece to Harriet. It glitters in her eyes, and Harriet transforms back into Henrietta, right in front of Pamela's eyes. The gum set off the change in personality, just like in the dean's office. Pamela feels something is wrong because Henrietta puts back on her glasses and puts her hair up. She has an enlightening moment that Harriet is Henrietta and that they have a split personality. Henrietta.
I am not an evil instructor. I just lack personality, and I'm burned out being a nursing instructor. Can I help it, hate students? Other students gather around.
And they are shocked Henrietta is back. Pamela, she screams at Henrietta.
Oh my God! You're Henrietta as well?
Henrietta just smiles.
You got it, kid.
Pamela and the rest of the students scream and run off stage.
Help! Quick! We have to go get the dean. Our instructor's insane. She's 2 people in one. We want our money back. Help! Help!
End of scene. Act 2, Scene 9. Dean's office. Dean is writing a research article. All is quiet until the students come rushing in her office, hysterical. Mr. Hicks runs in as well. He had a meeting waiting for the dean anyway, and when he saw all the students were terrified and running into the dean's office, he assumed Mrs. Henderson had failed them all. What is wrong? Did you fail them all? She's insane. Nurse Henderson's crazy. She has a split personality. She's Henrietta and Harriet. Pamela found out when she offered her a piece of gum and she saw a personality flip right before her eyes.
It was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. She's insane. I want my money back. I want to get out of this godforsaken nursing school. It sucks.
Crying some more. Students console her. Others start crying. Dean Butterfield.
Okay, you guys. Calm down. Calm down. I knew she had a split personality.
Student shocked. You knew? How could you have her teach us? You knew? And you didn't say anything? Nothing like keeping the other instructor out of the loop.
I'm sorry, Daniel. It was confidential.
I was right all along that she had to be the same person. Now it all makes sense.
Well, I thought I was making progress working through her personalities, but I can see that I failed. Well, I have one option left, and that is to use the ancient healing of nursing blessing.
What the hell is that?
Well, as nurses, we have the power to heal, to fix the broken, and to mend the mind of one who is weary from nurse burnout. In Mrs. Henderson's case, I have been saving it as a last resort.
Why?
My days are numbered. I'm weaker than what I used to be. I'm near retirement and don't have enough healing powers to cure her.
She stares at the students, pauses.
I will need your help.
How can we help?
You are young, and the ancient power of healing is dormant inside of you. It is time to have it awaken, to save your nursing instructor.
But we hate her.
One must rise above hatred, for healing is more powerful than all the violence and hatred in the world. It is what has kept us alive over the centuries, caring for each other.
Students looking at each other, some starting to agree, others not sure. You want us to forgive her for being an evil instructor? Some of us don't even think we can. Forgiving's too hard, especially for Annabelle. She almost failed her. Why, if it weren't for Pamela and the other nurses on the unit, Mrs. Henderson would have failed Annabelle.
Yes, one once must learn to forgive before any type of healing can take place.
No, it's too hard to do.
Yes, I know it is. But isn't there at least one of you who knows what I'm talking about? If we hold on to anger, it will eat us from inside out, like a poison or cancer that's out of control. Anger must be controlled, and a good way to control anger is by forgiving those who have trespassed against us. Sounds like our Father, the Lord's Prayer to me. Exactly! Forgiveness even goes back before the time of Christ. It goes back to the beginning of humanity. Through forgiveness, one can heal. It is our duty as nurses to forgive Mrs. Henderson and blend the personalities of Henrietta and Harriet so that she can be a whole person once again. Why, we could call her Harrietta, don't you think? I've seen the power of healing, of inner strength. I know what the dean is talking about. I just saw it in Mrs. Armstrong.
Harriet, hiding behind the door, enters stage right.
Yes, you did. I have lost that power. Now I want it back. I want to be whole again.
I'm so sorry, Henrietta. I mean, Harriet, whatever. All I know is I hated Henrietta, and now I'm glad we can see more of Harriet. Who will the new person be?
A combination of her good and evil self. Her ID and her ego. No longer will she be a Dr. Jekyll and a Mrs. Hyde.
What? Her id and her ego? Who are Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde?
Never mind. That is a different story. Harriet, Henrietta, please come to the middle of the room, and students circle her with hands connected, ready to repeat the lesson as I say it to blend the personality of Henrietta and Harriet. Tony, please place the ancient healing robe on me so I can start the poem that will cure Mrs. Henderson.
You mean you're not going to get rid of the evil instructor completely, but blend the good with the evil? Won't the evil still be there?
Exactly, my dear. None of us are perfect. I mean, all of us have an evil side and a good side. Don't you agree?
I think so.
Tony, please get my healing robe out of the closet. Place it over my shoulders.
Yes, ma'am. He opens the closet, and inside is a beautiful rainbow-colored robe. Very simple, very elegant. Tony walks over to the dean and places the robe of healing on Dean Butterfield. Lights dim. As Dean reads the poem, the stage darkens and a beam of light focuses on Mrs. Henderson. The students start repeating the poem. Rays of light start emitting from each student, centering on Henrietta. Mrs. Henderson is turning left as the students recite the healing ancient poem, and the other students are turning right. The dean is standing still inside the circle, reciting the poem from an ancient scroll that she pulled out of a glass case. A glass case that was displaying the scroll beside her desk. The ancient art of nursing.
Centuries old, men have been caring for men, women caring for women, men caring for women, and women caring for men.
Students repeat each stanza after first read by the dean.
We all care for each other.
We all care for each other.
Sickness knows no boundaries. The young and old are born and reborn every day.
Sickness knows no boundaries. The young and old are born and reborn every day. As Henrietta and Harriet are turning, the dean takes off her robe and places it over Henrietta and Harriet. She continues to recite the poem. A change can be seen in Henrietta and Harriet as they become one person. She transforms into Henrietta and is happy again. It needs to be the same actress, and she will need to transform in front of the audience. She could hide under the hooded robe for 10 seconds or so and do what is needed to transform.
Yet, how can one be reborn when they are dying?
Yeah, how can one be reborn when they are dying?
Thus, it is best to live one lifetime in a single moment. So many lives can be lived in just one life.
Thus, it's best to live one lifetime in a single moment. So many lives can be lived in just one life.
The young learn from the old, and the old learn from the young.
The young learn from the old, and the old learn from the young.
The young are in awe of our experience and life-changing events.
The young are in awe of our experience and life-changing events.
The old are inspired by the young's eternal innocence for all that is new.
The old are inspired by the young's eternal innocence for all that is new.
There is no room for cynicism in a new life, for it is learned as we become old.
There is no room for cynicism in a new life, for it is learned as we become old.
It is the newness surrounding us that the old must let in, to stop the cynicism from growing within.
It is the newness around us that old must let in, to stop the cynicism from growing within.
For life is too short not to care, but lasts forever when we care enough.
For life is too short not to care, but lasts forever when we care enough.
In the ancient art of nursing, everyone cares for everyone, including the environment, the animals, plants, and trees.
In the ancient art of nursing, everyone cares for everyone, including the environment, the animals, plants, and trees.
We are all one, and what we choose to destroy is gone forever.
We are all one, and what we choose to destroy is gone forever.
Thus, one must learn to forgive in order to heal, to prevent destruction.
Thus, one must learn to forgive in order to heal, to prevent destruction.
Remember. Please cure Mrs. Henderson. Make her whole again so that Henrietta will blend with Harriet to make her Harrietta.
Please cure Mrs. Henderson. When the poem is done, Henrietta and Harriet take off the robe and a new person is seen. Henrietta, hair shinier, smiling, relieved she is whole again. And she is in a beautiful pair of scrubs, ones that make her beautiful, yet elegant and simple. Plus, she even looks 10 years younger. The students gasp at the new Henrietta. There is quiet, healing music during the whole scene, and then the curtain closes. The dean is smiling. Mr. Hicks, perplexed, trying to take it all in, but appears accepting of the new Henrietta. They all reach out to shake hands. She holds them all at one time. End of scene. Narrator. We each have the power to heal. We each have the power to hate. Which is more important to you? If one can never forgive, then it is impossible to heal. As nurses, we love to heal. It becomes natural for us to take care of the sick and dying, to bring new babies into the world, and one day at a time we change the lives of many people. It all started when we became students on the very first day of our clinical. Even though this play was written for entertainment value, I wish to stress that being a nurse in an ancient form of healing that is more powerful than life itself. For as nurses, what we do is very important. We do make a difference. As an audience, thank you for listening to my story. The story of NurseSense, the ancient art of caring. As an instructor, teaching has taught me to unravel my knowledge and experience from the rope of my nursing career, which I pass on to the twines of knowledge to my students, where over the years when my students practice as an RN, their twine of knowledge will become their rope of knowledge. So please take a little bit of the power of healing home with you. It is yours, if you so choose, and it is absolutely free. Now it's time for you to wake up. I hope you enjoyed this play as much as I did. Adios, sweet dreams, and a play. School song for SWAT RN School. Different characters cheer for curtain call.
Somewhere out there, nursing school is where our dreams lie.
To be an RN someday like the ones before us who practice daily.
The art of caring, not fearing sickness, pain, or death.
Avoiding nurse burnout by taking care of oneself daily.
Contributing to society financially, emotionally, and physically, draining every ounce of who I am.
A SWOTRN in the state of Wisconsin is where I'll be. The best nursing school, slumbering amidst the farmland, lakes, and trees.
That is what I truly long to be. That is where I truly wish to be.
SWAT, SWAT, SWAT! In Wisconsin, rah, rah, rah! No matter where I practice, my healing power of SWAT nursing school will stop me from burning out. For within my heart is the RN I truly wish to be. SWAT, SWAT, SWAT!
RN school, rah, rah, rah! In Wisconsin, oh yeah,
oh yeah, oh yeah, rah, rah, rah!
Wait, this play can't end. I haven't found a doctor to marry.